I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. We welcome Vatsun Kabuki to the stage. Hi.
Hello.
Hey, thank you so much for coming on. Please introduce yourself to everybody.
Well, I guess I'll start off with my normal intro that I give on stream, which is Kanban Buki. I'm Vatsun Kabuki, Irium US's traveling performer. I am one of Irium's founding streamers. I just do random, mostly yapping streams. I'm just your chaotic, cozy little gremlin.
Well, we appreciate you coming on, and absolutely, we welcome you here. When did you get started with content creation?
It's actually fairly recently. Like I've been trying to get into it for like the past 4 or 5 years, I would say.
Yeah.
But just never really found the right outlet, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when I discovered Irium back, I think around the end of March.
Mm-hmm.
And then I applied to be a founding streamer in April, got accepted, and then I debuted back on June 4th. And I've been doing that ever since.
So you this was your first dip into the waters.
Yeah. Yeah.
So were you prepared for having to be on your toes all the time during the streams?
At first, not quite, but because funny enough, my debut was actually I think I held the record for like the longest debut on there. Probably not anymore, but yeah, it was like 6 hours long.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like at first, like the first like 10-15 minutes or so, I was very like jittery and nervous because I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna do good. There's so many people. Like as soon as people see debut in the title on your stream on Irium,
Yep.
They just flock in, and I'm like, oh my God, there's so many people. I don't know what to do. But then as the hours went on, I was like, you know what? I'm finding my groove. I'm getting good at this. You know, I could see myself doing this for a while.
Yeah. So it just took a little while of before the water got warm enough for you to be comfortable.
Like getting in a pool for the first time.
Yeah, absolutely. And unless you're doing it in October, which is when we're doing this interview, in which case it ain't never going to warm up. So just get in and enjoy yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
So, were you someone who watched VTubers before? Were you a fan of them, or how did you discover them?
Okay, so that's actually a very funny story. So I was like a viewer for the past, like I said, 4 or 5 years. Whenever I first discovered VTubing a long time ago, I actually discovered it through like off the top of my head, I can remember 2 people that have made a significant impact on like my on like how I got introduced into VTubing, and one of them was actually the very first VTuber I ever watched. He goes by the name Endo. He's a very funny and interesting character. I absolutely love Endo. He was one of my first like VTubing friends, and I still talk to him every now and again. And then the second one, because I've discovered like I have a big love for Koei Tecmo's like Warriors games, like the hack and slash games.
Oh yeah.
And then I discovered a another VTuber by the name of Lighty the Noob on YouTube, and I've been watching him for years, and like whenever I was discovering all of this, and like we just recently connected too, like back towards the tail end of June, and we've been best buds ever since. And I'm like, I just met my hero.
That's something
I'm
else,
best
isn't
friends with my hero.
yeah, I've been watching your stuff, and you start feeling like you're 1 inch tall in their presence, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
meanwhile, they're just like, oh, hi, how you doing?
Yeah. Pretty much. That's pretty much how it was. Cause like whenever I found out that it was when Lighty actually came into my stream, I didn't connect the dots that it was him. And then and then whenever I was streaming, the notification from Twitter popped up that he liked the post that led him to my stream, and I was like, wait a second. Oh, wait a second, hold up. Something's not right here.
Short circuiting.
Yeah. And then I freaked out for a good 5, 10, 20 minutes.
That's okay. You can, but you eventually settle in. Like, well, now what am I going to do?
Yeah, yeah.
They noticed me. What am I going to do now?
Yeah, that's pretty much how it was. I was like, me, the littlest goldfish in the pond, me.
Sometimes the littlest goldfish is the shiniest. So there.
That's what they say.
Yeah, yeah, and they're the ones that get eaten by the cat first. And then you have to deal with it later.
Yeah.
So, how did you come up with this model?
So, whenever I got in, or whenever I applied, they have on the application for, if you are bringing in your own model, or, if you need to get one from Irium, and I did that because I didn't have my own live 2D model.
Yeah.
And this was before PNG tubing was brought into the app.
Right.
Because that was brought in when the early access came in.
Right.
But for founding streamers, we had to have live 2D. And I didn't have one, so I was like, hey, I need to get one from y'all. And whenever I was being shown like all the different kind of options that they had available, I liked them. Like they were great, but the one that I have now, like as soon as I saw it, I freaked out. I was like, wait, scroll back up, that one. That's the one. I need that one.
What caught you to that? What really brought you to that one?
I think if I remember correctly, like the models that I was shown, like they were all like kind of like color wise, they were all like kind of cold colors. If that makes sense. Like there were lots of blues and purples and everything like that. And the colors on my model, like the red, the gold, all that, like just stuck out to me. And then like the aesthetic of it is traditional Japanese aesthetic, and right. I eat that stuff up. And it was just like, it was a mix of the colors, how they just like came out, and it made the model stand out a lot more compared to the other ones because they were like brighter colors. And I'm like, that's the one.
Yeah, folks, you're seeing it right now on the screen, and you can see that it's hard to put a finger on it. Why it's unique, but it is. I mean, that might be the same thing that you saw. It's unique. I don't know why, but there it is.
It was very, very, very unique.
Yeah, and you are a traveling entertainer. Now,
that's my whole lore.
Yeah, that's the whole lore. So, does that represent you as a person? Are you somebody who is an entertainer in different fields?
I try to be. I can only do so much because of the fact that like I'm my current job that I have is I work as a live-in, as a caregiver, and so I can't really like, unless there's somebody else here with me, I can't really like physically go out and do much because I'm taking care of a 92-year-old man. And he can't be left by himself for too terribly long.
Right.
that, and also because of the fact that my vision is god awful. And so like the DMV wouldn't even let me pass the eye exam
Oh,
to get a license.
that'll tell you something, because usually they'll just give them a $5. No, no, I mean usually it's pretty easy to get through that.
Yeah, they're like, no, you can't. So I mean,
Absolutely not. Oh my lord, no.
yeah, they saw that I was like bad, illegally blind, and they're like, no,
Why are you
no,
looking in?
absolutely not.
Why are you looking into that hat? The thing is over here.
Yeah. So the traveling part, I like. Uh, Personally, I can't do that, but like the way I see it is like I can do that through streaming because of the fact that I get to reach so many people from so many different places at the same time.
Right.
And people I've been told, someone came into my stream a couple days ago and were like, people talk about you, and I'm like, oh boy.
It's actually true. I've had folks bring you up on interviews quite a few times, actually.
Oh no. No, don't talk about me, please.
I'm going to scare you right off. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Okay, thank God. I thought I was doing something wrong. I heard
No.
people were talking about me, and I'm like,
no,
oh boy.
It's actually amazingly right. When you're not even asking people to do it, and they're doing it for you, which is pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to say thank you for what you're doing with what you're doing as a live-in, because that is not easy, and it takes a great deal of empathy and patience.
Yeah.
That is something that average person looks at and says, "Oh yeah, well you're just sitting there watching." No, no, there's a lot to it, and thank you for
Yeah.
that. Thank you for that. That's that in itself is amazing to me.
Yeah, I've saved this man's life multiple times, honestly. Like, whenever I first started, like staying here with him, he kept having seizures, and we, number one, didn't know, like, because at the time I had just graduated high school about a couple years prior, and I graduated as a like certified patient care technician. And I didn't really know what, like, I knew there was different kinds of seizures, but I didn't know like how that looked like.
Right.
But yeah, so like whenever he would get taken to the hospital, they couldn't figure out what was wrong with him. And it wasn't until he got taken to a different hospital that they were like, this man's been having seizures, and we've been able to get him out of them, like through like getting him to breathe and everything.
Right.
And then about a couple years ago, he was having a heart attack, like a bad one.
Oh.
And I was alone at the house because my sister stays here with me, but she goes off to work during the day.
Right.
But yeah, whenever he had that heart attack, like I just got through talking to him. We had a good conversation. Because he likes drinking hot tea and everything, and he was just asking for a cup, and I was like, yeah, I'll go get you some. And as soon as I turned to walk away, I heard him like screaming for help, and I went over to him, and he was just sweating bullets and everything, and I called my mom. I was like, hey, there's something wrong with this man. And she was like, I was telling her what was going on, and she was like, call 911 now, he's having a heart attack. And so I did. And whenever he got to the hospital that they took him to, the doctor said he shouldn't have survived that because it was that bad.
Oh, yeah. And my father had one like that, far away from us. In fact, he had his while he was in a CPR class, which is a level of irony only my father could have come up with. and he realized that he was having a heart attack, got up,
Hmm.
and drove himself to the hospital.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened here. Like the old man, he was trying to get up and walk around, and I'm like, I don't think it's safe for you to be getting up and walking around when you're in the middle, like when your heart is having a full on stroke right now.
Yeah,
I need you to sit down.
yeah, yeah, and it's just, but I mean, sticking with it through all this, and having to be reliable and being on site, and it it's more than a job. I hope people
Hmm.
realize that, and if nobody else does, I give you extreme credit for that,
Yeah,
because
like
you're giving up a
yeah.
lot to do this, which is pretty amazing. Which leads us back to the
Hmm.
VTubing thing, because here you don't have to travel to somebody else's place, or get to a studio to talk into a microphone and talk to people. With Irium, you just need your phone.
Yeah. And it's a good thing that that Irium is as accessible to me as it is, because like that was one thing that was stopping me from doing content creation at the like from the beginning, was the technology that goes into it. I'm like, I don't have a big old PC that I can do this stuff with. I just got my little cheap Walmart laptop and my phone. That's it. And then
from
um
from Bob's Electronics.
from Walmart.
Yes, on sale,
Which
slightly damaged.
yeah, yeah. And like the great thing about Irium is like I can literally stream from anywhere
Hmm.
if I needed to.
Yeah.
And it's just that accessibility that helps me a lot. And it was one of the deciding factors to like push me to apply to begin with, was, this opportunity ain't gonna be up forever. So I mean, might as well take it.
Oh yeah, yeah, and it sounds like you've grabbed it by both hands.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it really does suit you really well. I mean, you see me pop in every once in a while on the stream and say hello. And I always, I don't participate a lot, but I like to find out what's going on. It seems like you're really comfortable with it.
Yeah, I I find that it's second nature at this point.
Mm. Yeah, which is pretty amazing when you think about it.
Yeah.
It's just second nature to be talking to all these strangers across the United States. Yep, I just step back and take it. Set in front of my phone. There we go. these
Yep.
people, but these people are coming to for you. And when that it hit you at first, how did you take it when you realized that people enjoy your personality, they enjoy what you do, they want to come back for more?
Well, at first um it was a little daunting at first, because I was like, these these people see me, like whenever they see me on their screen, they see me as like this like big figure to them,
Mm-hmm.
and they see me as like a source of comfort. And whenever they're having a bad day, they'll tell me, you just made my day a lot better. And at first I was like, I need to keep living up to the standard, like
Mm-hmm.
um I got to keep being this like big personality. But after a little while, that's whenever I kind of started like, being a little bit more like uh more true to myself, I
Mm-hmm.
guess you can call it. Like
Yeah.
I've had moments where I've cried on stream over things, I've been vulnerable with my chat and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's one thing that they appreciate, is the fact that, I'm a like I don't I haven't yeah, what's the word I'm thinking of? I don't try to be that big personality
Mm-hmm.
as much anymore. Like I
Yeah.
still have my giant personality, don't get me wrong, but I'll have my times whenever, I've got my low moments too. And I think they like that like down to earthness,
There
I
you go.
guess you can call it.
The
Um
relatability.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Because it goes from the dynamic of somebody up on stage and we're sitting watching, and to being around the campfire.
Yeah, because at the end of it, how I see it now is, before I hit, the go live button, I'm just an ordinary person.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, at the end of the day, I'm still that ordinary person, but to other people, I'm so much more than just, the average Joe that you pass on the street,
Yeah. Well, I take issue with that because from what you told me what you're doing, there is no way that you're an ordinary person. So there. Deal with it.
No!
Yeah. take
compliments, no!
Take that compliment.
Oh man.
Dished with a
I can't
side of
escape
fries.
it.
With a side of fries. Take that compliment.
Okay.
So how have you felt being with Irium has been for you? A lot of the folks I've talked to from him, and I've talked to quite a few lately, they seem to like you an awful lot. I mean, how are you taken to those folks?
Oh, I see them more as like friends I haven't met yet. Like some of them I haven't like gotten to properly know, but like the ones that I have known, like Ashdown, Baps,
Mm-hmm.
Orpheus, Nephilim,
Yep.
Anasoki, all of those guys, like I've come to know them as my good friends.
Yeah.
And to the ones that I haven't met yet or like I've like been acquainted with, I see them as friends I haven't met yet. Like I don't see them as coworkers cuz that's just kind of like I don't know. I'm like, do I really want to see them as co-workers?
I've
Because
got
I mean, we're not
yeah.
out here in suit and ties and sitting in office cubicles.
Yeah, which although it would be kind of funny to see an entire VTuber group do that, but
That would be pretty funny, yeah.
and besides that, there's some coworkers I don't want to talk to. I would name them, but that would probably be a very bad idea.
Yeah.
I try to block them out of my mind as much as possible. But it does it. Teammates. How about teammates?
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, because
Because I mean,
really, Irium is still in its early stages in the U.S.,
yeah.
but it's hit the ground running for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And more people are kind of catching on to wanting to not just come on and say hi to everybody, but be a part of it too, and get on themselves. And it is very different than streaming on, say, Twitch or YouTube, and you don't have a game that you can fall back on usually. Although I guess you can. There are ways around that.
Yeah.
But when you get on there, it's you and them.
Yeah, that's the thing I like about it. And that was one thing that I was telling Irium staff whenever I was having my first interview with them. Um, like they were like, why do you want to stream here instead of like comparatively to somewhere like Twitch or YouTube or whatever? And like that's what I told them was like the personal like conversations you can have with the people in chat because like the essentially latency is gone. There is none.
No, and it still scares me.
Yeah. So like you can like as soon as people come in, you can see them and you can, greet them, have like that like little one-on-one time with them whenever they first come in.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there you can just keep building like that personal experience with them. And that's one thing that I think makes Irium and streaming on there so special is that viewers can, leave someone's stream going, I had this personal like experience with this one streamer
Mm-hmm.
and it like that's just something that just makes it a bit more like I know this is going to be cliche to say, but a bit more magical, I guess. It's like you can have these personal moments and make these good personal experiences that'll carry on with these viewers and have them keep coming back so that way they can have more experiences like that.
Well, I kind of look at it like this, where if you're on one of the other services and you've got 10 people it's kind of like one person and a group of 10 people. Not, but with
Mm-hmm.
Irium, it's one person and 10 individual people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everyone is getting a different thing because you're responding to each one. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you all do it. I mean, I did a
Very
talk show.
carefully.
I did a talk show for a long time and taking calls. That was plenty, and I knew who was coming
Mm-hmm.
with that sort of thing. We had a delay on ours on purpose for some of these callers, and sometimes for me. The it takes you had to be really adept on your feet to adapt to what's going on because one conversation is going to be completely different than the next one.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, and I've been on a few with Irium folks, and one is talking about the the fashion thing. Someone is talking about food, and someone is talking about the fact they just got a cat, and now you've got to keep up all those things at once.
Yeah.
So how
It's
many how many
challenging,
how
but
many
we get it.
personalities do you have to have at the same time?
Um, a lot.
Just to subdivide your brain as you go along here. The more people, the smaller the divides.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it feels like like you said, you can have like so many different kind of conversations going on, um, and then somehow they all tie in together.
Hmm. Yeah. Eventually, they do kind of come together, don't they? Where someone will join in a little bit. Maybe they've got an experience in a certain something, or they've got something to chime in with. As long as they're not
Hmm.
the type that's folks that show up and throw dirt in the Cheerios type of thing. Um,
Yeah.
and now that there have been a few changes that Arium is bringing out, which folks will learn about moderators and stuff. I don't know the full details myself, but sounds like that's going to be a positive for you guys for the most part.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely is.
Mm.
Because like usually we'd have to like if someone came in, with like just trying to be like a like a little bad egg, we would have to stop everything that we're doing to handle that situation, and it breaks the flow
Mm.
of the stream, and it takes a little bit to get that flow back after you handle the situation, but
Yeah.
that's why they've like implemented the moderator system, is so that way you can have those mods that'll sit there and watch the chat for you, and if someone's acting out of hand, they'll handle it instead of the streamer themselves having to stop everything cold turkey just to handle somebody who came in
Who is a cold
saying bad
who
things.
who is a cold turkey?
Yeah, someone who is the cold turkey.
Yes. But it really does tell me that Irium is continuing to not just using the Japanese model, because I guess this isn't on the Japanese model of it, um, but they're continuing to research ways into making it a better experience for everybody,
Hmm.
and that's got to be good news for both the people who are tuning in to hear you, and for you folks for staying on there. They're trying to help, not just here go,
Yeah.
here's your channel, go do it. That
Yeah.
it's all up to you, except but they are really putting out an effort to try and get this going, and it shows me that there's still a lot of innovation left to do in VTubing.
Hmm.
Wherever you're at, wherever stream, people are going to do it on their own if the companies aren't going to do it themselves. Uh, if What would you like to see now that you've done this for a few months? What would be the one tool that would help you the most while streaming?
That's pretty tough because the one tool that would be helpful has already been just freshly implemented. Um I don't know. That's a very tough question.
Mm. Yeah. Is it easy to have another streamer on with you right now, or do you have to jump through some hoops?
Um, like in terms of collabing,
Yeah, yeah.
um, not necessarily because like the people that I usually collab with, like Ashdown, for example, we usually are like, okay, clear that day. That day is done. You're not having anything to do that day because you're working with me. um,
I'm talking about
and
I'm talking about the setup, the hardware to actually be able to be on both streams.
yeah, maybe that would be something
Yeah, as I
to
it does seem like people are able to do that and do it pretty well, and that kind of adds to the teamwork of
yeah.
everybody in the area, and barring a few missteps here and there, it seems like that's going pretty well. But that's what happens with any company that gets started. For
Yeah.
for you now, did you even have a goal when you started, or has it surpassed what you wanted? Do you think that you could have gone a little further at this point?
Um, well, the one goal that I've had, since the beginning, and it's still, like I guess you could say I kind of did surpass it, but to me, it feels like I can still do more with it. And the number one thing that I've been wanting to do and am still doing is building a community that people from all walks of life can feel, like they can come in, and as I say in my intro, come in, grab a seat, and get comfy.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
like that's essentially what I've been wanting to do, and that's something that I'm still gonna strive to do because I don't feel like I've hit everybody yet. I
Mhm.
haven't hit everybody yet. So
Got to catch them all.
yeah, yeah. All y'all people are like Pokemon. I'm gonna catch you.
That's right. That's what I'm doing with the Irium streamers right now. I'm going to catch every single one of you and get you on the interviews.
But yeah, that's the goal that I've had since the very beginning, and that's like my driving force
Mm.
is everybody at the end of the day kind of needs a spot to like come home to,
Hmm.
if you can put it that way.
Yeah.
And that's something that I pretty much um built my community on, is that it's a place where everybody can come in, everyone can just, be themselves, everybody can, mingle with each other, find
Hmm.
new friends,
Yeah.
and just have a little spot that you can chill out, have a good time with, and
Yeah. Kick your feet up a little bit, and,
yeah,
yeah, and just enjoy yourself and not have to worry about
yeah,
things. Um, is that the type of person you are?
yeah. Honestly, that's how I've been since I was little.
Yeah.
Um, because um growing up I was kind of like the oddball of the group.
Mm.
I still am.
Well,
Um
nothing wrong with that.
and like I kind of um like how I grew up, and how like I've seen from like my experiences in grade school and everything, was that people would always like flock to like their kind of cliques, so to
Hmm.
speak.
Yeah.
um like like the I guess the popular people would be on one side of the playground, and
Yeah.
all of us little guys would be on the other side, minding our own business. And
Yeah.
that's what kind of shaped, my whole perspective, is like I want to have a spot for everybody to have
Yeah.
a seat at the table.
Yeah.
Not just, it doesn't matter, where you come from, what you've got, who you are, you've always got a seat.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
you're always welcome here.
I've likened it in the past to going from a high school to a college, where
Hmm.
you're still the same person for the most part, just a little bit older, but the people now that you're talking to don't remember that you ripped your pants out in third grade bending down for a pencil.
Yeah.
You start fresh as you create um, your own setting, your own world, and you get to start with a whole new bunch of script writers, basically. Um, you get to set reset button for the most part, and that's where a lot of people ended up changing themselves as far as social anxiety and such, and um, I can tell you this: I went to my 40th high school reunion here recently because I'm very old, and but all of those cliques that we had, and I went to the same school district my entire life. All of those cliques were gone. Everybody has lived 2 or 3 lives since then, and it was just good to see them. And it was so nice once all of that pretense was dropped that you could just be one-on-one and talk with somebody and see how they were doing without worrying about, you're standing in the social circle or whatever. Sounds like that's what you're kind of trying to do here. You're trying to drop all that, falderall and pretense and just say, hey, we're a bunch of people, let's talk.
Yeah, because I mean, like at the end of the day, you know, we we all just, humans by nature are just social creatures, and we just kind of tend to flock towards, the people who, we vibe with the most, and like that's something that I kind of wanted to break, I guess. Like whenever I graduated high school, I was like more I throughout high school I became a bit more introverted and everything like that because like the people I was surrounded with I just didn't vibe with, not because I didn't like them,
Yeah.
but because they just didn't, seem like they would be, the people who would accept me,
Okay.
And so that's something that also kind of helped shape my perspective is, I just want to make a place where everybody and their mama could belong. um, because I know that pain of being, the lone, like the lone survivor, I guess you can call it.
Yeah, that's true. You go in a room with a bunch of people and turn around and you're the only one there. Uh, I'll play with a cat.
Yeah, exactly.
and then you get old and you have 9 cats and you wonder, how did that happen? Uh, uh, so does that personality of yours play into what you're doing for a living? Where you want to take care of somebody and make sure that they're not left out in the cold and without somebody.
Yeah, because like what what led me to doing what I'm doing for a living is because the old man's family like lives in a completely different state, and they're like after his wife passed about 10 years ago, his his son and daughter-in-law and their kids would come down, every like a few times throughout the year and come see him and everything. But he really didn't have, anybody. And so like that's another thing that kind of like helps me with this job is like, this man, his family comes down every now and then,
Yeah.
but 24/7 it's me. I'm the one that's sitting here
Yeah.
taking care of him and making sure that, he wakes up every morning and making sure that, he's entertained and fed and make sure that he's, cleaned and everything, and
Yeah.
that's all me.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for me doing this, and also my sister who who helps out when she can, because she works throughout the week.
Yeah.
She's not here as much as I am. And with all that, it was either we come here and take care of him, or he goes to a nursing home, and nobody wanted that. So, and I personally couldn't, stand, him going to a nursing home where he would essentially be by himself, for however long he was going to be there, and he
Right.
wouldn't be in the comfort of his own home.
Right.
So I'm just like, you know what? We're going to do this. We're going to do it.
You have empathy, don't you?
Yeah, yeah, I think that's what it's called, and I think that's what people like me for.
Yeah. It's not something that a lot of people have these days.
Yeah.
And that leaves you open in some ways, unfortunately. Sometimes you get taken advantage of. Um, I hope that hasn't happened for you. Um,
Oh, it has.
oh, that's heartbreaking.
But it's okay though. I mean, it's kind of toughened me up a little bit,
Yeah.
the experiences I've had, because I'm just like, people, not what's the saying? Nice guys always finish last or
Hmm.
whatever. So I mean, like, I tell myself, at the end of the day, it's gonna be all right. You're gonna be fine
Yeah.
because you got bigger, better things to worry about. You'll be all right.
I'm going to have to read your book to find out how that works. Because I may be an old man, but there's a lot of days where the pot is boiling. it's all going to come out on somebody soon.
Yeah, I'm gonna admit I've also had my bad days where a lot of things have just been bottling up, and I'm like, I can't just let myself crumble like this.
Mm,
I don't like seeing myself as a weak person, but sometimes you have those moments of weakness, and they've been happening a lot more like recently for me,
hmm.
because you know, things just pile up, and
Right.
then like with my mom, who she's essentially all I've got,
Right.
and it's her health ain't all that great.
Yeah. I know
She's
I unfortunately know how that's going right now. This is
yeah,
my own situation. That's never.
yeah,
That is never. It's not supposed to be easy.
mm-mm,
It's not. You're just supposed to care enough for it to hurt, I guess, because that's the way it's supposed to be. Um, but
yeah,
you know, I guess get this feeling that you're going to do everything you can with it, and you're going to continue to do whatever you can for this gentleman who is
mm-hmm,
blessed to have you there with him, and you're going to continue to go on streaming and continue to entertain people as not only something for them but something for you as well. Because here is your chance to let the hair down a little bit, and all the time that you spend being there for other people, now you can be there for yourself and still help other people.
yeah, yeah. Because like there was one time where I didn't stream for a week,
Mm,
and all my fans were like, what's going on? Where you been? And I told them that I had went to go see my mom the past weekend,
mm,
and she's been battling with uh soft tissue sarcoma, which is a type of cancer, and
right.
she's also got lupus on top of that.
Oh,
Um, Yeah, and so she told me that her lupus is in its final phase, which is not good.
mm,
And that her cancer's all over her body.
right.
But since her last doctor's appointment about a month ago, I think, it spread 40%. And
Mm,
that's taken a toll on me, because I'm just like, this woman's all I've got.
of course it will. Of
Whenever
course.
she's gone, I essentially have nothing. So that whenever I told whenever people came into my stream and I told them that, um that's one thing that I'm very thankful for my viewers, is like they're very like sympathetic towards me and my situation. Because they know like the stress I've got going on with making sure that this man wakes up every morning. He's doing fine. But it's, the fact that my mom is not doing great, and I don't need a doctor to tell me, when that time is coming, because I can see it.
Yeah. I gotta tell you
And
something.
that's something. Yeah, that's something I told my viewers, and they're just like, you take all the time that you need. We'll be here for you if you need, time off or whatever. And I couldn't be more thankful for them.
Vatsun Kabuki, you're something else.
I try to be.
You really are. You really are. Folks, we're going to have the links in the description. And you've heard over these last, 45 plus minutes what a person we're talking to, and what type of a person. And if you can't support a person like that, who you going to support? Thank you so much for coming on. It's just absolute pleasure talking with you. I send hope and prayers that everything else goes well for you. And you just keep shining, because we need more of you.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my best, and thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I'm so thankful, and I can't wait to see more what you do.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.